solely on the complainant finding the book offensive and requires policies to be posted publicly and make other minor changes. There's somewhere else we can provide fuller details, but for the sake of moving forward for Senate Bill 1271, LCO number 5883, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable substitute to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Mar. Seconded by Martinez. Any discussion? We will have Senator Martin, Representative Dauphinais, Representative McGee. Thank you. Representative Dauphinais, ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think we had an extensive hearing on this, and I'm not going to rehash anything that I said, but I will be a no on this bill. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody, and I still feel very, very strongly that the local communities, while I understand you're giving them some liberty with the policy, there really is a lot of mandate dictates in this policy with regard to what they can and can't do. I do believe having some kind of policy with anybody who would object to a certain book is a good idea, but I am opposed to the bill in that state in which it is. But thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Representative. Senator Martin, followed by Representative McGee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just for a point of clarity, Mr. Chair, the bill speaks of public and non-public schools. Would this apply to Catholic schools being included in the non-public?
Senator, that is a very good question, and it, as far as I can see, I believe it would include them as well. Yes, sir.
It's definitely a problem. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Representative McGee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will definitely be supporting this bill out of committee today after further discussion with my Board of Ed and libraries. But I just, for the record, want to thank all the parents that came out and shared their concern about certain content in certain books. And I think it was sort of more so a discussion on like what people seem to be just subjective, just a sort of subjective decision based on what people deem should be in libraries or not. But I did really appreciate the public hearing and the vast responses and experiences we've heard from both parents and librarians. I think that we can really create furthermore policy that reflects the voices of people. And so I just wanted to share that for the record, but I will be supporting this today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative, for your comments. Any further discussion on the bill before us? Seeing none,
Yeah,
Mr.
I got my hand up. Sorry.
Representative Boyd, I always forget to look down at
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Chair. There's been a lot of work on this, and I recognize it's a work in progress. So I will keep it moving along through committee here. We just got to be really careful of the word private being added in here, because I think that opens up a whole different can of worms that perhaps we were not intending to begin with. So, I will vote to move it out of committee, but recognizing it's a work in progress, but I just wanted to flag that one piece of being potentially of concern. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. Appreciate your comments. Representative Wielander, the good vice chair of this committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also just wanted to, I'll be supporting this out of committee, but I do have some concerns about the addition of the word private and not fully fleshing that out. And also removing the working group and adding all of the control to local boards of ed. This may become an issue down the road where we have competing and conflicting policies one town to the next. So this is something that I look forward to continuing the conversation on, and I appreciate the time and effort that everyone has put into it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just for the record, on the bill before us, it does not include the word private. So I just want to make that very clear for everyone. Sorry. Non-public is, the good senator to my right is saying non-public would count as private, but I am not looking at you, Representative Lanoue, with lovingly eyes. I'm looking at Sarah O'Connor. Non-public schools are non-contemplated. Libraries that are not private schools. Does not include private schools. And that would include Catholic schools, sir. You're very welcome. Thank you. I will continue to look at you too, Representative Lanu. With any further discussion before us? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll. Thank you.
A motion has been made and seconded to JFS to the floor. Agenda item number 3, SB 1271, an act concerning school and public libraries, LCO 5883. Representative Harris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Moore votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes no.
Representative Bellin.
Rep. Belden votes yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd, aye.
Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kipp. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco. Representative McGee.
Rep. McGee votes yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Once again, votes will be held open for an hour and 15 minutes post our recess. Next, we have House Bill number 6183, an act concerning the appointment of the child advocate. This is JFS language to the floor. Section 1, essentially the summary is that Section 1 just adds one sentence. So this may be very easy. It removes the governor from the process for appointing the child advocate. Currently, the existing advisory committee interviews candidates and sends a list of finalists to the governor, who selects a candidate by approval of the Connecticut General Assembly. Instead, the committee will select a candidate and submit the recommendation directly to the CGA for confirmation. In Section 2, simply just makes clarifying changes. So the substitute language adds conforming language in lines 28 through 30 of the bill, which specifies that the CGA will have the final confirmation on nominees. With that said, for House Bill 6183, LCO number 5584, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable substitute to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Marr, seconded by Welander. Is there any discussion? Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I want to thank the Office of the Governors for being part of this conversation. We've been having a lot of back and forths about this, and I know that the bottom line is that we want to make sure that the most vulnerable of our children are being cared for, and that we are holding everyone who is responsible for them accountable for that care. That being said, we did make just one very small change based off of the feedback from the committee, and we made sure that the final confirmation in this S language would go to the legislature. So I just wanted to thank Senator Martin and Representative Lanu for voicing those concerns during the meeting. That also being said, this is still a continuing conversation. We're moving forward with this to continue to have an avenue to ensure the appointment and the reappointment process of this very important and actually now only watchdog organization that we have is as best as it can be. So again, thank you to the Office of the Governor for their time and their consideration on this, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Welander, for your work on this bill. And once again, another warm thank you to the Governor's office for their cooperation. Any further discussion on the bill? Representative Lanu.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do appreciate the change that the legislature will have a final vote on this. Certainly very important, and so I'm happy to see that. However, my concern still remains, and I think where we absolutely agree is the absolute vital importance of a child advocate. That watchdog for our children, so our most vulnerable. We absolutely need to make sure we have the very best person we can possibly find to be in that spot. Totally 100% agree. So that leads to my concern, as we also bring in checks and balances into this. The people of Connecticut, parents, grandparents, everybody else, we vote for all of us, for members of the legislature, for the House, for the Senate, and for the governor. You know, the governor has to answer to the people. He or she will appear on their ballots and has to answer for the decisions they make. I think it's vital that the part of the appointment process the nominating process should come from the chief executive, from our presidents, and on the state level, from the governor. It's not one-offs that an appointed body of folks. It's a fixed 5-year term. It could be from a different governor, a different administration. We need to have it from the governor that directly that people vote for and elect as governor, and that needs to be codified in either a yes or a no from both chambers of the legislature. So I feel very strongly about that, and for those reasons today, I'm going to be voting no. But I do appreciate and recognize the change as far as letting us have a vote. But that final nomination should come from the corner office, from the governor, directly to us. People that, although the people involved, the principals involved in this thing, are voted and elected by the people of Connecticut, directly by the people. So so thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And for those reasons, I'll be voting no today.
Thank you, Representative. Any further discussion on the bill before us? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JFS to the floor, agenda item number 4, HB 6183, an act concerning the appointment of the Child Advocate, LCO 5584. Representative Paris.
Paris, yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wieland.
Representative Wieland votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd, aye.
Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanou.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco. Representative McGee.
Rep. McGee is yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Item number 5, under Section 3, SB number 1368, an act concerning the Office of the Child Advocate. Essentially, this bill, SB 1368, implements the OCA recommendations based on the findings of their recent study of guardianship proceedings in the probate court. The changes in the substitute language for the raised bill contained a placeholder language while the committee waited for OCA to submit their recommendations. The substitute language merely holds and contains those recommendations. If there needs to be more detailed summary on some of those recommendations, I'm happy to go through that. But for the sake of time, for Senate Bill 1368, LCO number 5978, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable substitute to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Marr, second by Wieland. Any further discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I will be voting yes on this bill. I just wanted to comment, after looking at it last night and this morning, I was thinking it might have been appropriate to send it to Judish, but I will be a yes on this bill.
Thank you, ma'am. And just for, I know that Representative Mastro Francesco just walked in, so for the record, in terms of summary, the detailed summary regarding this bill shows that Section 1 adds the following information to the notice that the probate court must send to parents before a hearing for the removal of guardianship. Section 2 requires that the probate court to confirm that recipients in the notice of the notice in Section 1 have received and understood it before removing the guardianship. Sections 3 and 4 requires a notice sent to petitioners and guardians before a hearing for the for the appointment of a guardian to contain the same provisions as in the removal of guardianship proceedings described in Section 1, and Section 4 establishes a working group to study statutes, policies, and procedures related to the probate court guardianship proceedings and make further recommendations. Thank you, ma'am. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JFS to the floor. Agenda item number 5, SB 1368, an act concerning the Office of the Child Advocate, LCO 5978. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wieland.
Representative Wieland votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Yes.
Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd, aye.
Representative Comey.
Yes.
Can I circle back to Representative Boyd again?
Sure. Representative Boyd, aye.
Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Yes.
Representative McGee.
Yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just for the record, we will hold for Representative Mastro Francesco and Senator Cohen, we will hold votes open for 1 hour and 15 minutes post our recess. And also for anyone that is online, I don't want to single out Representative Boyd. We need you guys to take your time in voting because we do need to see you vote on screen for the purposes of YouTube. And so being a little bit slower will be helpful to us. Thank you very much. Next, we have House Bill 6951, an act concerning children's behavioral health services. This will be a JF to appropriations. This bill requires the Transforming Children's Behavioral Health Policy and Planning Committee to study the use of behavioral health crisis services, conduct a survey on data collection practices at school-based health centers, and develop reporting requirements and recommendations. This bill also appropriates $8.6 million to DCF for mobile crisis intervention services in fiscal year 26 and 27. With that said, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable change of reference to the Appropriations Committee?
So moved.
So moved by Marsh, seconded by Wieland. Any further discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I know this is going to appropes and probably justifiably so, but I'm going to be in opposition of this bill merely because of the cost of it. I thank you for the time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate the comments for the record. Any further discussion on the bill before us? Seeing none, Ms. Representative Wieland.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just actually, before our good ranking member spoke, I was thinking about the cost as well. And I know that it is a high cost, but if I'm remembering correctly from the hearings and conversations with advocates afterwards, the money that we invest in these services actually saves much more when in cost to emergency rooms and hospital stays, inpatient, and this is a really actually effective and cost-effective way to get quick intervention to children and families that are in crisis. So hopefully this will continue, and I just want to thank everyone on the Taking Care of Business Committee for what they've been doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Senator Martin.
this has the aspect of the mobile unit going from and providing mobile units throughout the whole state.
That
If I
is-
understand correct. Right.
It continues that, yes, sir. And if there's further elaboration, I will allow for the co-chair of this committee and the tri-chair of the TCB committee to go in further detail.
Sure. So is this going to be requiring that each municipality have a mobile unit in its community?
Thank you for your question, Senator. No, it does not require that each municipality have a mobile crisis in its area. Right now, they are broken into not quadrants, regions. Thank you. And that would continue.
Thank you, Senator. Any further discussion?
No, I think that's a good aspect of the bill regarding having these mobile units. You can't rely, police officers have a difficult job as it is, but having someone there with this social behavior background is, probably something we should be looking at. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to join favorable change of reference. Agenda item number 6, House Bill 6951, Act Concerning Children's Behavioral Health Services. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wheelander.
Representative Wheelander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd votes yes.
Representative Comey. Representative Comey.
Rep. Comey votes yes.
Representative Kipp. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
No.
Representative McGee.
Yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you all so very much. Moving forward, item number 7 under section 3, House Bill number 7043, an act concerning foster care maintenance payments. This will be a JF to the floor. This bill requires a DCF to report on the foster care maintenance payment system, including the rates and schedules of payments, in comparison with other states and jurisdictions, and an analysis of the feasibility of increasing such rates and recommendations for doing so. Can I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor?
Oh, so moved.
Moved by Marr. Sorry. Moved and snorted by Representative Wheelander. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Marr. Thank you very much. Any discussion before us? Seeing no discussion, Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor. Agenda item number 7, HB 7043, an act concerning foster care maintenance payments. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wheelander.
Representative Wheelander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Representative Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Yes.
Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd votes yes.
Representative Comey.
Rep. Comey votes yes.
Representative Kipp. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Yes.
Representative McGee.
Yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Number 8, an act concerning the creation of the Early Care and Education Program Portal. This is House Bill 7044. This will be a joint favorable to the floor. Essentially, this requires the OEC to create an electronic portal to provide real-time information on the availability of early child care and education to parents and providers. This requires them to also create a way for providers to enter information about their programs through existing softwares, which would include a mobile app. This is a way for families to apply for subsidies and other assistance related to childcare, and a way for stakeholders and policymakers to conduct analyses of early care and education needs. Can I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor? Moved by Comey. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mar. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a few questions on this bill just for clarity. So OEC will be responsible for the layout of this, correct?
That is correct. They will be the
Okay.
designers, I'm sure with outside consultants likely, ma'am, on the creation of the mobile app and software. Yes, ma'am.
And are all the private daycares across the state required to give input on this? Would this be a responsibility of them as well?
That would be correct, ma'am. It would be a responsibility of theirs as well. Yes, ma'am.
So it'll be a mandate for them to have to provide that information?
That is correct, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I think that you answered my question. I'll be a no because of the mandate, although I probably see that there are some benefits in it. I don't like the mandate piece of it. So for that reason, I'll be a no, but thank you.
I'm happy to re-answer the question, ma'am, without the word mandate, if that might get you to it. Thank you, Representative. Representative Mastro Francesco. Oh, Senator Martin. Representative Mastro Francesco.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So yes, I do have the same concerns as Rep. Dauphiné on here, that this certainly is a mandate on our businesses. There's a language in here that talks about the information being available in real time.
Yes, ma'am.
So in real time, meaning what? What is the employer, the child care center, to do in real time? Do they need to connect their computers up to a state software? Do they have to have that software? What does real time mean? How much time do they have to input this information?
One
to you?
example, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. One example around this, and I just want to take a step back in terms of the private providers. If any provider is licensed, they are required to provide this information. So most private providers still are licensed, regardless of whether they are private or public. So I just want that to be on the record here. In real time simply means, for example, there's a Sparkler app and database that is used with the OEC and providers, both public and private. They upload information. The information that they upload would just be made available to parents and other providers and the OEC in the app in real time. So it's not that necessarily at 143, something's going to change. It depends on the program and the provider actually updating that information on their end so that it can essentially talk to the OEC, thus talking to the parent for them to be able to see.
Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the one that I have a real big problem with, because it's clearly a mandate on our local businesses, as well as we have, childcare providers that work out of their home, and they may not have access to the software and the information that provided, and it's just more government mandates on local businesses and government overreach. So I can't support it, but thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, ma'am. And for the record, I think the intent of the bill, actually, I'll take that back. I know that the intent of the bill was to ensure that parents who oftentimes don't know where to start in the child care process, they don't know whether they are a better fit, whether a public program or a private program, home-based program is a better fit for them and their families, what the cost of that might be, what the outlook and descriptors of said programs of what they're getting for the cost of care, what that looks like. This would help connect parents to those providers and also help connect parents to many applications and or resources through the OEC, like Care for Kids and other applications to help offset the costs and availability. So I do appreciate your comments, ma'am, and I do understand your concerns. Thank you. Senator Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It sounds like there's some real good information that would be very useful to parents in particular, right? But regarding the mandates, is there how much is going to be required from for the providers regarding this? Because I think it might be to their best interest to provide certain information, particularly if they are looking for children to take care of, right? So it would be to their best interest to submit whatever it is. But to the concerns of my colleagues regarding the mandate, being a small business, it could be burdensome. So is there just a limited amount of information that will be requested in order to get onto this or conform to what's going to be required here?
Yes, sir. I don't foresee there being any additional information that's not already currently requested by the OEC pertaining to a child or the care of a family that would be further required here through this program. So anything that's already required through the OEC with programs would stay the same here. Any additional information I think would be designated and decided upon by the OEC in conjunction with programs, but likely there would be nothing new, sir. And no providers, thank you, Representative, no providers testified against this bill,
So
public or private.
maybe if we included an opt-in provision in the bill that might satisfy the mandate, you know, what's being discussed here regarding the concern for the mandate. So just a thought, maybe we, you know, if we move this out, maybe we could make a change outside of this.
Yes, sir.
Or if you want to entertain a motion to make this into opt-in, I'd entertain that.
I hear you, and I think respectfully, with respect to the work that's already been done, and because of our deadline, I would prefer, sir, that we discuss this offline and then perhaps bring it to as an amendment to the floor when bringing out the bill, if that's all right with you, Senator.
Fair enough.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? Representative Comey.
Thank you so much. I just have a question. This reminds me, it's a little bit like 211, Childcare 211, in the sense that it does tell you, you know, some details about the childcare setting, maybe some funding streams that is collected, and of course, location and a way to contact them. You did mention the Sparkler app, though when I read the language, I didn't really see that. I thought it was more of a real-time of just like slot availability, that sort of thing, and maybe registration dates and key points. Is that a misunderstanding on my part, Mr. Chair?
It's not a misunderstanding, and there I go again with my big mouth. I use Sparkler as an example, not necessarily the definite, just for the purposes of trying to answer the question for our good colleague, Representative Mastrofrancesco, but you are correct in your belief, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any further discussion? Representative Dauphiné, I see your hand up again. Is that from your previous comments, or are these new comments, ma'am? All right, previous.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, Representative. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor. Agenda item number 8, House Bill 7044, an act concerning the creation of the Early Care and Educational Program Portal. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wheelander.
Representative Wheelander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Representative Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd votes yes.
Representative Comey.
Representative Comey votes yes.
Representative Kipp. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanou.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastrofrancesco.
No.
Representative McGee.
Yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We now have SB number 1369, an act concerning child care support for Connecticut's workforce. This will be a JFS to finance. This creates the workforce child care program and portal within the existing early childhood education care and education fund. This would be funded by 1.5% payroll tax on large employers and be used to cap child care payments for working parents at 7% of their gross income and provide supplements to providers. There's further detail, and we have, of course, had a public hearing on this, but just so that you know that what the changes are specifically in terms of the substitute language, the substitute language incorporates the program into the existing early childhood care and education fund under the administration of the advisory commission, rather than creating a new fund and governing board. It also removes specific work hour requirements for working parents to qualify to have their payments capped, and incorporates licensed youth camps into the program and applies the payroll tax only applies the payroll tax only to employers with more than 200 employees. With that said, may I please, for Senate Bill 1369, LCO number 5839, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable substitute change of reference to the Finance Committee?
So moved.
Moved by Mar. Is there a second? Second by Welander. Any further discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just wanted to make a couple of comments about this bill in particular. And I do appreciate the changes you've made. I know that you, really upped the amount of individuals a company would have before they would fall into having to pay for this payroll tax that is of 1.5%. And I appreciate that, but I still am a believer that the mandate piece of it is not the best way to go about it. We do know that there's a lot of Fortune 500 companies out there that really do take it upon themselves to do innovative things for their employees with regard to childcare and how they handle that. So I'm really opposed to this being another tax on our businesses and one that is a mandate. So I thank you for the time.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I actually am going to echo the good ranking member's concerns pretty much verbatim. This is, I appreciate the changes that were made to reflect different sizes of business, but I don't think that a regressive payroll tax is the best way that we can move forward to support this important work. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I will be a no today.
Senator Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're working, I think, our tails off regarding trying to encourage businesses to come from out of state into our state. It's usually those that are larger employers, right? And if you do the math regarding this bill, average wage 60,000 times 200, and then multiply that times a 1.5%, that's $180,000. If I was the employer, I'd be probably looking to try to build something within my structure to take care of the daycare. But I wouldn't want to do that by myself. I think we're sort of shooting ourselves in the foot regarding trying to provide this type of service at the expense of the employer. We've got to sort of get on the same page. I think we all know there's a need to figure out some childcare. I don't know if it's within the homes or whether it's at larger centers. I don't know what the right answer is. Obviously, it's probably a mix, but how are we going to fund that and how are we going to pay for that? We know that the governor's made his proposal, and now we've got another one here. We've got a pilot program that we've moved out of this committee today regarding, funding the parents in order to help reduce the wealth disparity between into the state. But I don't think that this bill is the right answer to solving that problem. So I'm going to be a no. I'm just going to be a no. It helps think of other things if I have to later on. So
Thank you, Senator, for your comments. Senator Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm just going to echo some of these comments as well. Obviously, this is a huge problem, and making sure that we have available childcare for our workforce out there. And so it's a balance we want to strike in finding available slots and encouraging employers to provide childcare. It's certainly a benefit as well in trying to secure a talented and capable workforce. So certainly there's numerous reasons why employers would want to provide childcare on their own. But I do have a concern about already strained small businesses across the state of Connecticut and what this might do in terms of impacting them financially. So again, looking to strike that balance, but concerned about the language here in this legislation before us. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Representative Comey, followed by Representative Lanou. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I am also really hesitant about at this time with what's going on in our in with all kinds of issues with new leadership in Washington and what may or may not happen. There's a lot of unknowns, and I think it's better off for us to play it more conservatively this year. While I understand the importance of all of this, I certainly don't want to have any unintended consequences for either our businesses or certainly working families that are depending on these businesses to have a to be successful. So I will be a no as well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Representative Lanou.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to echo some of the comments I've heard from colleagues here on both sides. Yes, we certainly want to encourage childcare, make that accessible, make that affordable for families. I think we'll all agree on that. I think what's the conduit to that? I don't think the answer is not taxing businesses, in my view. What we need to do here is encourage entrepreneurship, encourage businesses to locate here, to grow here. And as a business owner, somebody who wants to create jobs, wants to have a business grow, they want to get the best possible workers, best possible employees they can get, right? So they want to offer different carrots, different incentives to come to work for them. And without having a mandate in place, just letting the free enterprise system work, they may want to offer childcare, maybe offer the gold standard on it. And many every large business, a medium-sized business, has started off as a small business and has grown. So we also want to make sure our small businesses, we want to make sure incentivize them to grow to the next level here in the state. And if we put yet another tax on them and another mandate, when they hit that next level, when 200 people, more employees, create more jobs, they may go to another state and to grow, and they're going to take those jobs with them. So that's the last thing we want to see happen. And we want to encourage businesses to locate to the state. So for those reasons, I say let the free enterprise system work. Let those businesses compete and offer the best possible childcare that they can. And I think that's the answer. So for those reasons, I'm going to be voting no today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. And are there any other is there any other discussion? I very rarely make comments on bills and committee meetings as the chair of this committee. I believe to respect the process for all of the committee members and for those in the public. I will say this. I certainly hear the concerns on both sides, both Republican and Democratic sides. I think that they are valid points. I would say, though, however, this crisis is bigger than us. And this is a crisis that has been going on for many years nationally. We have a industry in which women are at the forefront of making that industry continue to move along. We have nearly 90% of women that are in the childcare industry, and they have to take out loans and have to hold degrees in order to be childcare providers in our state, but yet only make $26,000 a year on average in our state. We're setting them up for poverty to bring up and develop 90% of the brain of our young people in this state. And for parents who we want to encourage to have more children, because Connecticut is one of the best states in the country to raise a family, and certainly it's one of the best states for women and men in this state to work. Childcare is the biggest enabler for people to go back to work. And so we have many different, as Senator Martin had mentioned, we have many different proposals before us. And I think that each proposal, I see that there are certainly challenges with all of them before us. I would ask that I will be voting yes on this because I would like to it to finance and let the finance committee have their say as well on this and not rob them of that privilege. And I would ask that others consider that, but I do certainly respect the votes of every person on this committee, and I do respect the comments that were made. Thank you very much. Senator Marr.
I would just like to echo the comments of my good co-chair on this. I believe we do need to JFS it to finance. It does need to be looked at. And I think based on the needs that we know that there are in our state for childcare, we have got to look at every option on the table. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, excuse me, Senator Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, with the indulgence for the second time. And I just want to state for the record that I will vote yes today with the understanding that this is a work in progress. I'm also seated on the Finance, Revenue, and Bonding Committee, so I feel like I'll have another chance to weigh in on this and really watch its progress. But I do know that folks are trying to work with the business community on this to perfect the language, to get it right. I also know that the thresholds set a little higher at this point in terms of the number of employees. And I still do have some concerns and reservations, but certainly happy to vote it forward today just to continue this discussion. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator, and I echo your comments as well. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JFS to finance agenda item number 9, Senate Bill 1369, an act concerning child support for medics workforce, LCO 5839. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes no.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphinais.
Representative Dauphinais votes no.
Senator Martin.
No.
Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd votes yes to continue the discussion.
Representative Comey.
Representative Comey votes no.
Representative Kitt. Senator Kushner. Representative Lanou.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
No.
Representative McGee.
Yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have House Bill 6952, an act concerning certain recreational and educational programs. This will be a JFS. Essentially, where we are right now is that this bill requires municipal recreation or educational children's programs to conduct background checks on staff and maintain staff ratios from 1 to 12 children to 1 to 12 children, and makes all directors and staff mandated reporters. The changes in the substitute language removes the age requirement from staffing ratios so that staff under the age of 18 can count towards the ratio. It adds the provision that unlicensed programs may only use camp in advertising materials if they also specify that they are unlicensed. And then it adds in Section 5, which requires that if a municipal children's program director or staffer makes a report as a mandated reporter about an incident that occurred on site or during an off-site activity, DCF will notify the chief executive officer of said municipality. With that said, for House Bill 6952, LCO number 5946, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable substitute to the floor? Don't all rush at once.
So moved.
Moved by Marr.
Second.
Seconded by Welander, the dream team there. Any discussion? Representative Dauphinais, if I might first, followed by Representative Comey. Thank you. Representative Dauphinais. Do not think that she is there. Representative Comey.
Sorry, I'm here. I can wait though. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, my apologies. Representative Dauphiné.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I apologize for that delay. I just wanted to say a few comments about this bill, and I do appreciate the attempt to make it better, but there's still municipalities that are up in arms about this bill, and it's going to be a huge burden. In fact, the fallout may be that they may not be able to offer the camps that they had. This is really singling out the municipalities, apart from every other one that's out there, every other camp. This requires that the staff must be DCF mandated reporters, which seems to be exclusive to the municipalities. And furthermore, I mean, I think you want them to highlight that they're not licensed by OEC, which kind of makes them like the scarlet letter A mark, if you will. I'm really concerned about this bill. I'm concerned that we're talking about daycare and the opportunity to help the workforce, while these camps do their part all summer long with providing camp programs and daycare, if you will, to our families. I think this bill is still a huge problem for our municipalities. From what I understand, that they had some input in the beginning, but they were not able to see the new final S language and weigh in on that. So I will definitely be a no on this and express my concern.
Thank you, Representative. And just for the record, I wanted to let you know that this is not exclusive to the municipalities. Municipal and licensed camps have to do it too. So this is creating parity amongst the two entities. I just wanted to be for
And
the
private ones too, Mr. Chair?
That would be correct. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Representative Comey, followed by Senator Cohen, followed by Representative Wielander, and finally with Representative Boyd.
Thank you so much. You're doing a great job, Mr. Chair. Okay, so I know so much work went into this, and I thank Representative Boyd and all the folks on both sides of the issue that are trying to make this this as good as can be for everyone. I myself was on the phone with a constituent and texting folks late at night who are running rec programs in a variety of towns. So I know that there's been a lot of versions that have been passed around, and I am probably a little bit more confused now than I would have been if we had stuck with the original. But I do want to get to a place. I will vote in support of this today, but I want to reserve my right to vote against it on the floor of the House if in fact it is going to harm my municipality camps. So I will support it to get out of committee. It is a deadline, and but I do want to make sure that everybody is at the same table and that we are all speaking the same language, because I feel like we may not completely be aligned in our understanding of the bill. And what it does, and whatever clarifications we have to make, I would love to see that get made before it comes out to the floor of the House. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome, ma'am. Senator Cohen, followed by Representative Wielander.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak on this. I too have heard from several of my municipalities with great concern that this will harm municipal camps, but also understand the need to protect our children. And I think these municipal camps do as well. So I think you've done a good job. I think the committee's done a good job on listening and really understanding what some of the concerns were in terms of cost of background checks, in terms of time, and also in terms of ratios. I know you listened to some of my concerns in terms of the lifeguard and CPR certified individuals. So I think we're really making progress on this bill. And I really appreciate that, giving municipalities the opportunity to use other existing background check systems such as that provided by the judicial branch as well as the sexual offender registry, that are free and available for municipalities to use, I think is incredibly helpful. And like I said, working on those components about the ratios, and the lifeguard CPR certified individuals, I think go a long way in understanding the concerns that the municipal governments have had. So with that, I'm a yes today. Certainly think this is still a work in progress. Again, we really want to ensure that our children are safe at all camps and able to enjoy them as well. We don't want to see any of these put to bed because we couldn't strike the balance between safety and financial concerns of our municipalities. So again, a yes today with the understanding that this is still a work in progress. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Senator. We appreciate the comments from the good Vice Chair of this from the Senate. Thank you. Representative Wieland, the good Vice Chair of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I won't make this long because my comments are very similar to what has already been said. I understand the intent and the background behind part of these proposals in terms of wanting to prevent future tragedies and abuse from happening. That being said, I do very much appreciate the work that has been done going into this bill and the thoughtful consideration that has been made for some of these changes. I do think, however, though, that we definitely need to continue this conversation because I agree with Representative Comey that there's a chance that we're not all on the same page, or we're on the same page but not speaking the same language. So wanting to make sure that we have all of our concerns addressed and that there isn't any potential misunderstanding. I will be voting yes to continue this conversation. And again, thank you to Representative Boyd for his continued work on it. But I would also love to see a continued conversation around non-background checked ways that we can improve the safety of any program. We heard from a couple camp municipalities the other day, and when we were hearing SB 6, and there were some protocols that they listed out that were incredibly helpful, I think, in creating safe and common sense based environments for safety for children and adults. So again, thank you for your time and allowing me to speak. I will be yes, but I look forward to continuing the conversation.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Dauphiné, for the second time, I think Representative Boyd would defer to her. Representative?
Thank you. I just wanted to add that, something that our municipalities have that the other camps do not is they have a huge oversight built in already. They have fire, police, EMS, attorneys, human resources that just aren't the oversight that the private camps have. And I think that's a huge missing piece here that we really need to understand and give credit to with regard to making this bill more suitable for the municipalities. I thank you for that opportunity the second time.
Thank you very much. Representative Boyd, good proponent of said bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would always defer to my good neighbor, Representative Dauphiné. Just a couple of things. There's been a lot of conversations around this. We did take the time and meet with the Park and Recs Association and went through line by line after the public hearing. And I think the S language represents that the biggest concerns that we heard about during the public hearing about ages were about onerous things and about how many municipalities are already doing background checks and are we just requiring it a different way. And I think as evidenced, their action alert that came out today was not about specific policies or onerous or costs. It was more about, why are we regulating municipalities or not regulating municipalities, right? And so that's kind of the fundamental question here, and more so in SB 6. I just think it's important to note that there's often this pitting of private camps versus public camps, and I really do think they're apples and oranges, and amongst themselves, no two private camps are alike in how they govern themselves, how they manage themselves, and I would argue on the municipal level, it's vastly different from town to town, city to city. And some of them and some of the people we heard about are some of the strongest advocates have, some of the most detailed programs and fail safes and oversight that they have. But there's others that certainly we didn't hear from. And so I guess the fundamental question that the committee, when looking to bring this forward, is, do we believe that there should be a minimum standard across the state that these child care run by a municipality or unlicensed camp, right, or a licensed camp should do? If you're OEC certified or OEC licensed, these things all apply already, and the level of compliance is tenfold on it. When the committee embarked on this, we weren't looking at every single child care piece. So I think one of the things, and perhaps rightfully so, the Parks and Recreation Association says is, well, what about a cooking class? What about Bob's Dance Studio, right? And that may be something this committee wishes to address in the future. But the attempt was to take a look at particularly what happened in Bethany. And if you otherwise would have met the OEC standard to get a license, but you were one of the 15 exempt, including municipalities, should there be a minimum standard? And so what this S language represents is perhaps the most non-invasive, but yet setting a minimum standard for first aid, for mandated reporters, which is paralleled in the license world, and ratios, hearing them. And so, as with anything, I know the chairs, this is an open discussion, and I'm sure this will come up again with SB6. But I do feel like this final language is informed by the good conversations and the openness of the Park and Recs folks who have come to the table and engaged in this conversation. So I appreciate everybody's time and effort. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative, for your hard work and for the clarification in terms of some of the concerns that were here before us. Representative Kit, followed by Senator Marr.
Thank you so much. I'm going to be very brief because, again, I'm just echoing what I've already heard from my good colleagues. I applaud Representative Boyd. I know how hard and how long you've been working on this issue. And again, I just, like my colleagues, I want to make sure that our municipalities are protected in such a way that they can continue to offer their important camps that are vital to our communities. But I absolutely recognize the need for these standards, and I'm going to vote yes to move it forward and keep the conversation going. And hopefully we can do what's in the best interest of our children and our municipalities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Senator Marr.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to just reiterate what has been said, and that includes a thank you to Representative Boyd. In the 3 years that I've been on this committee, this topic has come up every year. And I know that this is the first year we are getting it to this point. And I appreciate, Representative Boyd, the amount of time that you have spent working on this, working with the camps, being a voice for camps, and also being a voice for children, making certain that children are safe, making certain that we will not see what we saw last summer in Bethany. So I wanted to thank you for your work, and I also want just to voice my support of this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Belton.
I'll be quick. I just want to echo what my colleagues have been saying. And also, my municipality is committed to safety, but feels like this legislation will put a burden on administration and programs. I will be voting yes today out of committee, hoping to continue the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Martin for the first time, followed by Representative Dauphiné for the third time.
Wow.
There was no shade
Wow.
there. There was no shade.
I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative Boyd, thank you for the extreme amount of work that you've done through the years regarding this bill. I did get approached before coming to the meeting from the municipalities or the Recreational Parks Association, and it seems like even after last night's meeting or discussion that you had, there still may be some concern regarding some some of their issues. So you may want to speak to them. I'm going to be a yes, because I've heard that it is going to be a continued conversation here, an open conversation. So hopefully that things can be resolved between now and when we're voting on it in the floor. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate that. Representative Dauphiné, ma'am, you have the floor.
Thank you, and thank you for indulging me again. It's so very important because, you know, my own towns have spoken to me and are very, very concerned about this. And I just wanted to remind everybody, I believe every municipality has the best interest of the children and their safety at heart. And I do think that they operate under a different oversight than the private camps. And I just hope that there's reconsideration and we can bring the municipalities to the tables and that they could be at the table before the final bill is really presented before us to vote on. I appreciate the time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll. Thank you.
A motion has been made and seconded to JFS to the floor. Agenda item number 10, House Bill 6952, an act concerning certain recreational and educational children's programs, LCO 5946. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wieslander.
Representative Wieslander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Representative Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
Yes.
Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd votes yes.
Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kitt.
Yes.
Senator Kushner. Representative Lanou.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
No.
Representative McGee.
Yes.
Representative Pizzuto.
No.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Sure. Rep. Pizzuto votes no.
Thank you.
Representative, keep that seatbelt on. Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. Next, we're almost done. House Bill number 5474, an act concerning social media platforms with minors. If you recall, this bill, very simple in terms of its stance, was requiring social media platforms to incorporate an online safety center and restrict the use of direct messaging from adults to minors, and it prohibits platforms from utilizing features with the intent of increasing a minor's time on the platform. There is no additional language to this. This is a straight JF. And with that, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Marr, seconded by Martinez. Is there any discussion? Representative Dauphiné, followed by Senator Martin, followed by Representative Mastro Francesco.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the time. I'm going to be a no on this bill. I think it's well intended. However, I think the mandate and its complexity with regard to the implementation with regard to both state and national impacts, I have large concerns. I also have concerns with the fact that it's not going to be foolproof, and where is that going to fall back on? I mean, it doesn't seem as though there's any plan at this point in time. I know that parents make decisions for their children to be on a cell phone or on a computer. I think many of them, you know, institute their own safeguards when they do that, and limit them and make certain rules. And I think that's really the preferred method of doing this. And I would just say that they make the choice to buy those technical pieces of equipment and understand the risks that go along with that. But I thank you for the time.
Thank you, Representative. We appreciate your comments. Senator Martin, followed by Representative Mastro Francesco.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I also understand the complexity of what this bill could do to the industry itself regarding social platforms. But I also see this as a protective measure for our kids, for our children, and the safeguards that we here as a body should be providing. No different, in my opinion, than the bill earlier regarding the librarian, the library books, et cetera, right? I know I took a stance along with my colleagues regarding protecting free speech or the protecting our children to exposure to certain elements or graphics in particular regarding some of the books that are in our libraries. And I see this no different as well. So I'm going to be a yes, excuse me, I'm going to be a no on this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Representative Mastro Francesco.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of questions for clarification. Exactly how is this policy going to work?
Thank you, Representative. So in Section 4 of the bill, it allows the Attorney General to require controllers to submit a plan that would essentially protect the data of minors as it is relevant to any investigation that the Attorney General's office is looking at. This bill would allow for social media platform owners to also establish a cyberbullying policy by the start of the next calendar year. So again, the resources here just show that there's prevention of cyberbullying and information about mental health services. This provides an explanation, once again, of the platform's reporting mechanism for harmful behavior, and it gives educational information, if you will, ma'am, on the potential impact of social media on mental health. And this was based on the findings and suggestions of our good Republican colleague, Representative Kennedy, in terms of what she wanted in her intent of this bill, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I do understand one of my colleagues put this bill forward. That doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with them, but I appreciate it. So you mentioned something that it allows social media platforms. You use the word allow. Is that in here? Is this a may or is this a shall?
The allow piece is in Section 4 of the bill, not a shall.
Section 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you explain that for me? It says the Attorney General may require.
Yes, ma'am. So in terms of, if you go back to Section 3 of the bill, it prohibits controllers of online services from allowing minors, not shall, to use direct messaging unless there is a default setting that prevents adults from sending unsolicited messages to minors with whom they are not connected. And it prohibits those controllers from using any features with the intent of increasing a minor's use of the online service. That section does not apply to the educational entities, but moving forward, it would allow the Attorney General's office to require those controllers to submit a plan for protecting the data of minors if it is relevant to the investigation for which his office or their office is conducting at the time, ma'am.
Thank you. So when we're talking about social media platforms, we're talking about Facebook?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, yes, ma'am.
TikTok, Twitter, X.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm sorry. Anything with a direct messaging service attached to that platform, ma'am.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
So so this is direct messaging, not necessarily phone messaging.
That's right.
Messaging could be on social media as well.
That's correct.
Right, okay. So how is the state of Connecticut going to mandate that these social media platforms comply?
That's a very good question, ma'am. And the best way that we can do, that we can look at that is simply when we talk about bans of certain social media platforms based on age or based on adolescents' use of it, that is on the state to be able to do. And so we would simply just have a portion based on what's listed in the bill as controller, have a portion that would protect young people from not being able to direct message folks based on the age. So when you sign up for these spaces and for these platforms, you have to disclose your age. There would be an age limit to that, ma'am.
So basically what we're doing thank you for that answer,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Chairman. So basically what we're doing with this bill is we are not allowing children at a certain age to go on social media platforms.
We are not allowing children of a certain age to have direct messaging conversations with folks with adults on social media platforms, ma'am.
Thank you. That's going on social media, right? I mean, you can't.
They are allowed to go on
They're
social-
you can't control what sites they go on.
That is correct,
Only a
ma'am.
parent can do that,
Yes, ma'am.
not the state of Connecticut, right? We don't co-parent with the government. There's no way to monitor it. Children can certainly on social media sites anywhere. While I understand the intent that we obviously want to protect children, I hear a lot of talk in this language that we want to protect children, obviously. It drives me crazy when I hear people say that, like people who disagree don't want to protect children. Of course we do. Everybody in this room wants to protect children. But it's a parent's responsibility. We can't monitor it. We're here. We're not in people's homes to do that. And when we stop, we had this big debate with library books. They were trying to say that we're trying to ban library books. When in fact, now I guess we should say that they're trying to ban children from going on social media. I just think it's a parent's responsibility. I think it's way government overreach. I want to know how someone's going to communicate with Elon Musk. And let me know how that works out when you're telling him, the free speech guy,
Well,
about how he's going to comply with this. And I guess my follow-up question would be, if social media companies do not comply, what is the punishment? Could they say, you know what, we're not going to have our platform in Connecticut at all? Could that possibly happen to you, Mr. Chairman?
Representative, to be frank, I think, ma'am, respectfully, you might get in touch with Elon Musk before I do. And so I'll follow your lead on that. And secondly, I can't answer the question in terms of what we would do. I think that remains to be seen until we have a further fleshed out plan and direction from the Office of the Attorney General, ma'am, respectfully.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're
Yeah,
welcome, ma'am.
it's just that these types of policies are so much bigger than us. And here we are in the state of Connecticut trying to regulate social media. It's bigger than us. It's almost comical, to be quite honest with you. I get what we're trying to do, but again, it's the parents' responsibility to monitor their children, whether they are on social media. But then again, I guess it's okay if you're in a learning environment, right? Did I understand that correctly here? We don't want them to do it at home, but it's okay in a learning environment. Did I read that correctly to you, Mr. Chairman?
I don't see that in the bill, ma'am. But I would also argue, ma'am, that oftentimes it is very hard for a parent to even parent, if you will, or watch everything that their kids do online. And so some of this there are a lot of folks who are predatory, and this does protect many of our children as a safeguard from predatory behavior that might happen online. As you know, that there are a lot of bots out there. There are a lot of people who sign up not effectively as who they actually are. You'll see people create what's called Finsta accounts. That's a fake Instagram account. I learned that in a class with younger people recently at a high school. And so there's just so many different parts to this that even parents are aware of. It's just another opportunity and tool and resource for us to have parents better protect their children, ma'am.
Thank you for that. And listen, I obviously we want to protect children, but there's a lot of things out there that can't protect seniors that's going on the internet. And as everybody knows, so where does it end? When does the government stop stepping in? I'm a firm believer that parents are responsible to protect their children. Obviously, we have laws in place to protect children, which rightfully so, we should be. But, what goes on in their house, that's their business, and they need to be the ones. So I'll be a no on this today, but I appreciate the debate, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative, and I've been looking forward to this all day. She says she wasn't going to come, and I got a little upset yesterday. Representative Representative Wielander, followed by Representative Dauphinais for the second time. You mind? Representative Lanou, you'll go first, followed by Representative Wielander, followed by Representative Dauphinais.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I certainly like the merits of this bill. I think it's important, and I fully intend on moving this forward today and voting this out of committee. I think it may need a little more fleshing out as we move it forward. Just a couple of questions, if I may, and I hope I'm not putting you in a spot, but I just want to make sure I know where I'm at here.
Yes, sir.
I guess my first question is, again, what I'm trying to understand is we have different platforms, Facebook, for example, X, Bubba's coffee chat blog, and from God knows where, all these different places that might be out of the state of Connecticut. If they're operating somewhere outside of the state lines, what's the enforcement mechanism? How do we get them to comply with what we're trying to do here?
That's a very good question. And as you very well know, many people can create fake accounts and take on various personalities from anywhere in the world. So I do understand the intent of your question there. But again, if the child is in the jurisdiction of the state of Connecticut, what goes on in terms of the law here would be to protect that child and limiting their ability to have conversations with folks through the direct messaging. It does not limit them from not being able to be online and to use those social media platforms, but just their ability from having conversations with folks who may be predatory.
I understand. I understand.
Yes, sir.
that. I think maybe let me try to rephrase the question. How are we going to make the owner of the site, the owner of the social media, like Facebook, for example, or X? How are we going to make them comply with restricting that if they're not from Connecticut?
Well, to be frank, sir, and I would have to be checked on this, so I'm going to go out on a limb here. There are many laws pertaining to social media platforms based on the state. Many states from across the country have different laws based on varying platforms. Our state would not be that would not be different in our state in comparison to other states, and so quite frankly, we would not have obviously direct conversations with Meta or X. It's just based on the laws of our state for which that platform is able to effectively be in effect and to be able to be used, sir.
I guess my other question is, obviously we don't want strangers, adults talking to 12-year-old kids through direct messenger. 100% agree with you. I guess my other question is, but in situations like, I have an uncle that lives down south and he has grandkids up here, and one of the ways they communicate is through direct messenger on a social media platform. So a lot of parents, maybe they live in different states. What happens in those cases where the child knows the adult, where it's a grandparent or parent or uncle or aunt? Would they have an ability to communicate directly with them on Messenger?
Yes, sir. And Senator, Representative, and I share this with you. Look, I have the hardest time connecting with my grandparents online. I don't think they know the difference between anything. However, they still do it. This bill, with the situation and the example in which you have provided, that person would be able to connect with their grandchildren because they are connected online. They are friends online. And so that would not prohibit them from being able to connect with one another, even if they are in different states and of different ages.
And that's even with direct messenger.
That is correct, sir.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Like I said, I think it may have a little more flushing out to do, but this bill has a lot of merit, and I intend on voting it out today. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you, sir. I hope it was helpful. And I would just also add that we do have some existing laws on this, but it is outside of our scope, and I'm not sure that we could adequately summarize all of this. This might be a next career move for all of us, but the AG's office is charged with related enforcement in existing laws, so that presumably this is an extension of that. Thank you, sir. Representative Wielander, followed by Representative Dahl.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Wanted to just start off, to thank the two proponents of the bill that are actually teenagers themselves and are growing up in at a time and that I didn't grow up in. So I really appreciate their advocacy. So Dan Merriman and Mike Audi, thanks so much for doing this. These are Amity seniors. And thank you to Representative Kennedy for spearheading this through with them. In the concerns we do have, concerns about online safety, we do have existing laws regarding harmful communication with minors that are on the books. I helped write one in 2023. And this is I think, a smart step to require these platforms to take a little bit of accountability for promoting mental health and the understanding of some of the harmful behavior. It may be a bigger than us situation, but it might be an important first step to take a stab at keeping our kids safe online. So I'm excited about seeing this progress, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Welander, and congratulations to some of the folks in your district for being good participants of the civic movement that we have here. Any further? Oh, Representative Dauphiné, ma'am, I'll indulge you for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll be brief. I just wanted to reiterate that we all want our children protected. I believe that from the bottom of my heart, but just to distinguish between the library and this bill, in the public school libraries, the children are in there and the parents have no idea what they're looking at in the library versus a parent making a decision to allow the child to participate in whether it's a cell phone or a computer. I think there's a big difference. So the parents do not have that ability to know every single book that's in the library. I just wanted to make that distinguishing factor. But thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you very much. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor. Agenda item number 11, House Bill 5474, an act concerning social media platforms and minors. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Representative Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
To correct my what I said regarding I'd be voting no, I meant to say yes during discussion, so I'm voting yes on this.
Voting yes. Okay. Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kitt.
Yes.
Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
No.
Representative McGee.
Yes.
Representative Pizzuto.
Rep. Pizzuto votes yes.
Could you re-say your vote?
Rep. Pizzuto votes yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Next, we have three bills left. Item number 12 under agenda item 3, HB number 6186, an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports. This prohibits mandated reporters from including in their report the medical records of any prenatal care by the mother of the child who is subject to the report. For House Bill 6186, may I please have a motion for the joint favorable to the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Mars, second by Welander. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Chair, I had a question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Representative Dauphiné, I'm not liking you at home, ma'am. I need you back here.
I'm sorry. I just have a quick question. I want to be sure. So we're protecting the prenatal moms in this bill, correct? Their privacy?
That is correct.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Please come back soon. Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor. Agenda item number 12, House Bill 6186, an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Senator Cohen. Senator Cohen. Representative Dauphiné.
Sorry, I'm sorry, having a little technical issue, but Senator Cohen votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Dauphiné.
Glad I'm not the only one. Rep. Dauphiné votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Yes.
Representative Belton.
Yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kitt.
Yes.
Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
Yes.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
Yes.
Representative McGee.
Rep. McGee is yes.
Representative Pizzuto.
Rep. Pizzuto votes yes. Rep. Pizzuto votes yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have SB 6, an act concerning resources and supports for infants, toddlers, and disconnected youths. This is a JFS. This makes administrative changes to the Child and Adult Care Food Program. It expands the P20 WIN. This is the original version of the bill. The P20 WIN report on disconnected youth opens up Smart Start to include kindergarten preparatory academies, requires municipal youth camps to be licensed by OEC. It raises awareness of the Help Me Grow program and makes other minor changes. The substitute language for this bill keeps the P20 WIN disconnected youth report in section 2 as annual, where the raised bill would have changed it to biannual. So the only change is that it annualizes the P20 WIN disconnected youth report, and it also makes technical corrections. For Senate Bill 6 LCO number 5947, can I please have a motion on the floor for a joint favorable substitute to the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Marr. Is there a second? Seconded by Welander. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just wanted, I will be a no on this bill. This bill is even far more impactful to the municipalities with regard to the camps. They would have to license, which would give them no ability to, if you will, show that they have safeguards in place that are already being asked in this, but even moreover, this is going to devastate them. I know that I've gotten several calls. They were concerned about the other bill, but even more concerned about this bill. And I know they keep using the staffer in Bethany as an example, but from what I understand, this staffer had already had a background check as the staffer was employed through the school. So I think that there's always going to be people that fall through the cracks. I don't think the municipalities have a problem with the background checks. I think it's from some of the other huge mandates with regard to licensing, like having an APRN available, and I could go on and on and on. I won't do that, but this is going to devastate our municipal camps. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Comey, followed by Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, there are some excellent parts of SB 6. In fact, there are parts of the bill that I, have been working on closely. But there are also parts that I don't support. I don't support sections 4, sections 5, section 6 regarding the K-Prep Academy. I'm not exactly sure the need for that. I'm wondering if it's going to be diverting funds away from into programs that are either privately run or public schools, in a way from our small business providers. I just don't know enough about it, and I don't understand the need for it. As you know, when I was reading the OEC's testimony on that. Additionally, section 11, as Rep. Dauphiné announced, that stated that within municipal camps, I also do not support that section. So I'm a little bit torn, but I will support it to get it out of committee. But I may not support it on the floor of the House unless those pieces are either taken out or corrected. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
ma'am, for your good comments. Representative Welander, followed by Representative Kitt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I have very similar concerns to Representative Comey, what was just stated. There are some positives in this bill. I mean, I think anytime that we are having a longer conversation on childcare and support for families, that's a great thing. Let's look at that. But there's some serious concerns. The camp part 6 and sections 6 and 7, excuse me. I've had a lot of constituents reach out about that. So I will also be voting this as a yes to continue the conversation, but I think I also reserve my ability to, obviously to say no on the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Representative Kit, followed by Senator Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to be quick. I'm going to echo the comments of Representative Wieslander, Representative Comey, and Representative Dauphiné. There is a tremendous amount of good in this bill, but I am concerned about taking money away from our early childhood providers and also the burden it is putting on our municipalities. Thank you very much. I'm going to vote it out of committee, but reserve the right to change that vote on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Senator Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is obviously a caucus bill and a caucus priority. And as such, I know how much work has already gone into this, and I know the willingness to work on it moving forward and really understanding the testimony and understanding the need to get to consensus. So I very much believe that this is still a work in progress. There is a tremendous amount of good in this piece of legislation before us. It fills certain needs that we've heard from the community, and I will be moving it forward today. But I too, like so many others, have heard from constituents with concerns. And again, I just know the willingness to work on this as we move forward on the part of the good Senate chair in particular, but certainly both chairs, just particular to the Senate, obviously, because it's a caucus bill. Thanks so much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Senator. We appreciate your comments. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
A motion has been made and seconded to JFS to the floor. Agenda item number 13, SB6, Act concerning resources and support for infants, toddlers, and disconnected youths, LCO 5947. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wieslander.
Representative Wieslander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Could you re-say your vote?
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Thank you. Senator Martin.
No.
Representative Bellin.
Yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kit.
Representative Kit's a yes.
Senator Kushner. Representative Lanu.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
No.
Representative McGee.
Brett McGee is yes.
Representative Pizzuto. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, Christian, it was technical difficulties. I vote Representative Pizzuto votes no.
Thank you.
The show does not go on without the good Representative Pizzuto. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We have now our last bill before us. It is House Bill 5003, which is a House caucus priority for the Democratic caucus. It is an act concerning the Early Childhood Care and Education Fund. This would be a direct JF to the floor. In summary, this bill 5003 funds the Early Childhood Care and Education Fund through an end of the year transfer of unappropriated surplus and establishes several programs which may be supported by the fund, including expanding the Care for Kids subsidy, increasing the salaries of early childhood educators, providing healthcare subsidies for employees of early care and education programs, and providing administrative and technical assistance for implementing a capital improvement grant program. This bill also initiates studies on liability insurance for childcare providers, increasing the number of men in the profession and improving the background check process for employees. Again, there is obviously no substitute language here. So for House Bill 5003, can I please have a motion for a joint favorable to the floor? Moved by Senator Representative Wieslander, seconded by Senator Marr. Thank you very much. Any discussion? Representative Dauphiné, followed by Representative McGee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I will be brief. I just want to, I know this bill is another version of the universal childcare. I know there's several bills out there with regard to how this is going to spin out. I'm going to speak on behalf of my constituents who have expressed great objection to their tax dollars going to pay for other people's daycare. So I will end it there. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Representative McGee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to keep it brief for the record, this bill addresses a lot of the early child care crisis across the state of Connecticut, and there's been a great deal of work and effort that has gone into it. And I am just really excited to vote it out of committee today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Representative Mastro Francesco.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman, I understand this is our last committee meeting today. Is that correct? And Mr. Chairman, this is our last bill that we'll be talking about this year?
I'm almost afraid to say yes, ma'am.
Well,
It is.
Mr. Chairman, let's begin on line 1. Can you
know,
tell me on line 1 what it means by the date of June 30th, 2025? Mr. Chairman, I couldn't resist.
Hey,
But I got you there for
I
a
said
second.
yesterday I wanted to spend as much time with you as I could, so let's go line for line.
I think we, I couldn't resist, Mr. Chairman. But anyway, in any event, I'll be just really brief. I
Thank
think
you.
we've, I think we've talked, we'll wait till we get to the floor. Then I got hours and hours. That's much better. I think we talked about this in the other bill that we did. So, we'll save our comments for the floor, but I will be a no today. But thank you,
ma'am.
Mr. Chairman.
And I look forward to seeing you on the floor. I appreciate you very much, ma'am. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Senator Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I love the way that we're ending here. Very good. I see this as the first step of not staying within guardrails and setting up this fund. We already heard through the governor's speech regarding establishing the fund, endowment fund in particular, and then using, I believe, and I don't hold me to this, but I believe it's any surplus funds or lapses that we could projected lapses, and at the end of the year, use those lapses to fund this endowment. I'm going to be a no, strictly. I really do not want to change the guardrails. It's gotten us such into a good financial direction. We're not done yet. And I think we still have some work to do regarding making sure our fiscal house is in order. We've seen the benefits of that. You know, when you're talking about $800 million, because we've been able to pay down on our unfunded liabilities through these last 6 years, it's miles from where we were 10 years ago, where we were coming here on a regular basis dealing with deficits. And, you know, yesterday there's votes that were taken that affected what we were doing or affected those guardrails. Think about what we did yesterday. We established 2 other funds that are going to be outside the spending cap. This is another item outside the spending cap. It's a concern. I said on the floor, not yesterday, but a week ago when we voted on the bills, I just raised a caution flag. Look at what we're doing, everybody, regarding the moving of these funds or the establishment of these funds outside the spending cap. We're going back to it used to be diverting funds, right? Swiping or sweeping funds. And there's a list of what terms that we can use for this. Those were bad habits that we had. I just feel that we're going down this, we're dismantling the guardrail here of particularly the spending cap. So I'm going to be a no regarding this. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Representative Kitt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I am in support of this bill. The lack of affordable quality childcare is a huge driver of child poverty here in our state. And I believe that this bill is going to allow us as a state to make massive headway in combating child poverty here in our state. And in the end, we'll have long-term savings as more families will be able to attain employment and be able to afford to move off of public assistance. So that is those are some of the many reasons why I wholeheartedly support this bill and encourage my colleagues on this committee to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. And I believe you forgot to also mention that childcare, where there is adequate childcare and accessible childcare and affordable childcare in any state or community, it is the biggest economic driver for said community and or state. So I just want to thank you for your comments. Seeing that there are no further comments, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
A motion has been made and seconded to JF to the floor. Agenda item number 14, House Bill 5003, an act concerning the Early Childhood Care and Education Fund. Representative Paris.
Yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Wieslander.
Representative Wieslander votes yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Dauphiné.
Representative Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Martin.
Martin votes no.
Representative Belton.
Belton votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Kitt.
Representative Kitt is a resounding yes.
Senator Kushner. Representative Lanou.
No.
Senator Marks. Representative Martinez.
Representative Martinez votes yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
No.
Representative McGee.
Rep. McGee is yes.
Representative Pizzuto.
Rep. Pizzuto votes no. Rep. Pizzuto votes no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Pizzuto, for the second time. With that said, the committee will stand at recess. Votes will remain open until 4:16 today. Thank you all so much for your hard work, your collegial spirit, your hijinks, Representative Mastro Francesco, and your wonderful comments, Representative Dauphiné. We look forward to seeing you all on the floor and in other committees. Thank you very much.
Hey, Christian, I don't know if you can hear me or not, bud. Christian?
I believe he's waiting until, there we go.
Oh, okay, thank you.
How are you, Representative Pizzuto?
Well, thanks. Yeah, just hectic, we're all multitasking,
Yeah.
It's just crazy. My wife, we were at the spine doctor and I'm voting. It's just crazy,
Yeah.
How about
Got
yourself?
3
How's
committee
things going?
meetings going on right now. So,
Yeah, I had 3 this morning at the exact same time.
Yeah.
We need a scheduler. I think we should put that in one of our bills.
yeah. Yeah, I
Jeez.
had 2 bills in one hearing. I'm vice chair of the other hearing and
Oh,
had to vote
geez.
here. So
Wow, no kid. What town? Where do you live?
Fairfield. But so
Oh,
I'm
that's
working
beautiful.
from home today because I was
Yeah.
doing legislative stuff until 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I needed some home time just to do laundry.
You do. Listen, it is. It's dangerous too. We get that white line fever driving home late. You're tired. And then we're back early. But, well, hopefully we get a little break, at least from this one committee. And thank God. But it's just, then the language changes, substitute language, and the legal folks get involved. I tell you. But
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, Representative. I'm gonna, you and Representative Pizzuto and Representative Kitt both missed the same votes, so I'll just take both votes each instance.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead, please, Rep. Kitt. Yep.
For agenda item number 1, HB 6841, an act concerning the establishment of Universal Basic Income Pilot Program.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And I vote yes as well, Christian.
Perfect. Okay. 6839, agenda item number 2, an act increasing the number of children permitted in family child care homes, JFS 6061.
Yes.
Yes. Representative Pizzuto,
Yeah, I'm just looking for, you said 6061?
6839.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, Rep. Pizzuto votes no. Thank you.
This is SB 1271, an act concerning school and public libraries, JFS 5883.
Yes.
Okay, and I vote no, Christian. Yep.
Okay. Right, 6183, an act concerning the appointment of the child advocate, JFS 5584.
Yes.
Okay, is
I vote yes as well.
Zito, yes. Great. Okay. Agenda item number 5, 1368, an act concerning the Office of the Child Advocate, JFS 5978.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
is he-
Christian, did they say to send it to judicial? I wasn't, that's what I wrote down. I don't know.
JFS to the floor.
Okay, yeah, I'll vote yes. Yep.
Okay, 6951, an act concerning children's behavioral services. This is a JF app.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
I vote yes as well, Christian.
One we just gave me was 6951.
So 70. All right, 7043, an act concerning foster care maintenance payments. That was a JF.
Yes.
Okay, is he yes?
Yes as well. Yep.
Okay, 7044, an act concerning the creation of the early child care and educational program portal. JF.
Yes.
Yes.
And I vote no.
Go.
Okay.
You gave me. Yeah, sorry. SB 1369, an act concerning child care support for Connecticut's workforce. That was a JFS to finance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I vote no.
Zero, no. Great.
Okay, and that's all.
That's the one they marked. All right, you're all set. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
Thank you,
Rep.
man.
Kid, have a good day. We'll see you.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, Christian. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, Senator Marks.
Hi, thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just 1 second. Let me just grab a pencil. We just got
Yep.
back home. Okay, Senator, if my notes are correct, you missed all the votes, correct?
Yeah, I've been housing.
Okay, no worry. Yeah, I heard that was a long one today.
Oh, it's far from over.
Oh, good luck. All right. Do you need me to name the bills for you?
I don't.
Okay. All right. So, oh, sorry, let me grab the agenda. Okay. All right. Agenda item 1, 6841.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item 2, 6839.
Yes.
Agenda item 3, 1271.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item 4, 6183.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item 5, 1368.
Yes.
Agenda item 6, 6951.
Yes.
Let's see, agenda item 7, number 7043.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item 8, 7044.
Yes.
Okey doke. Agenda item 9, 1369.
Yes.
I think you may have put that over the edge there. Agenda item 10, 6952.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item 11, 5474.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Agenda item 12, 6186.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item 13, Senate Bill 6.
Yes.
And the last one, agenda item 14, 5003.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, Senator, all duly recorded. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Up, coming. Up, I'm here. I'm here. Should I come through? They'll probably
All right, Senator Kushner, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. So if I'm reading my notes correctly, you missed everything, correct?
That is correct. I'm chairing the Labor Committee JF meeting today.
No, no worries. Everybody's super busy. I just want to make sure I get everything down. All right. Do you need me to read you the full titles of the bills?
No,
or will the
no,
numbers?
you don't. Just the numbers are fine.
All right, very good. Let's get started. So first one, 6841.
Senator Kushner votes yes.
All right. Let's see, item 2, 6839.
Yes.
Item 3, number 1271.
Yes.
Okay. Item 4, 6183.
Yes.
Okay. Item 5, number 1368.
Yes.
Okay. Number 6, number 6951.
Yes.
Number 7, Bill 7043.
Yes.
Okay. Number 8, Bill 7044.
Yes.
Bill 9, 1369.
Yes.
Okay. Bill 10, 6952.
Yes.
Okay. Bill 11, 5474.
Yes.
Number 12, 6186.
Yes.
Number 13, Senate Bill 6.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and lastly, number 14, Bill 5003.
Yes.
All right. That is all of them, Senator. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Yep. Hello, Representative. Can you hear me?
How are ya?
Good, good. I was actually about to email you. I can go ahead and delete that. Okay.
Okay.
I think you missed the final 4 items, 11 through 14. I'll pull them
Yep,
up.
that makes sense.
Do you need the title or do you just want the number?
The title would be sufficient.
All right, very good. All right. Give me a second here. All right, that'd be, just give me a second. 5,003, 6, 6186, 5474. You voted on, boy, they are. Okay. All right. Agenda item 11, H Bill 5474, an act concerning social media platforms and minors.
I vote
You
yes.
vote yeah. Okay. Number 12, HB 6186, an act concerning medical records pertaining to prenatal care and mandated reports.
Yes.
Okay. Number 12, Senate Bill 6, an act concerning resources and supports for infants, toddlers, and disconnected youths.
Yes, please.
Okay. And then the only other one, Bill 5003, House Bill, an act concerning the Early Childhood Care and Education Fund.
So that would also be a yes.
All right, very good.
All right, thank
Got 'em
you.
all.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one, Representative.
Yep.